Okay, I just muted my microphone and recorded a 4 minutes long video. Yeah, and that was a waste of time. Like I already did once before, but then today I learned how to unmute my microphone just by pressing F8. So now you can see if I just press F8, I'll be keep talking, and now it's not muted, right? F8, important button. Don't click on it. All right, so yesterday I've learned the memory address of a integer of a variable and the address pointer for the variable. As you can see, I've made some comments on top of these codes. Now, comments are made by using the double slash. As you can see, these comments are in white. This means the system don't see them as codes, and this is good, right? You don't want systems to run these and go into a troubleshoot, right? So these are for explanation of your code. I've just made some notes so I remember what I do and what I'm to cover in today's tutorial. Okay, now there are only two things, like 5 lines of code in total. First thing to learn is the memory address of a variable. Now every variable is stored in somewhere in the computer. You know, this variable called rob10 equals 10. This is stored somewhere in the computer. Who knows where it is? And what the memory address does, it tells us where the variable is stored at. Now, let's get rid of this line and print just the memory address of Rob. Oh, by the way, the memory address is introduced by adding the and symbol in front of Rob. Okay, now that's everything about memory address. You make a variable like you do in basically any code we do right now. You start by making a variable. You make it equal to something. And then in our second line, just print out. You want to print out the memory address, just print it out by adding the and symbol before Rob. Okay, now let's get to pointers. What is a pointer? A pointer is a pointer that points to the memory address of Rob of variable. Okay, now you give it a name at first, and you have to add the special asterisk in front of it to let the system know that you're making a pointer. Now, after you have added that asterisk when you first called it, you don't need to add the asterisk in front of any of the pointers again uh, another time that you call it. Now, because the system already knows that you are adding a pointer, so now when you want to make this equal to the memory address of Rob, you don't have to add the asterisk. Okay, now the last thing we do is simply by printing the pointer out, we can know if this equals to this indeed. If it does, yeah, that's what it's meant to do. And they equal each other. So as you can see, this just prints this out in a more complicated way. And you may think this is complicated, it's complex, this is necessary, and there is no need for this. But we'll be covering our later tutorials of why this is needful and why this will be helpful and why it is needed. And we'll see you guys in our next tutorial. Thanks.